So guys, today's project is making a roof rack gas bottle mount for the 4.5 kilo butane bottles. So I'm going to make a band and a plate that then bolts to the roof rack, and then that will have some tie downs with a strap going over the top. So what I'm going to do is bend this bit of black plate all the way around the base to get a circle. I think if we flatten this piece out, that will give us a bit more material, which should be just enough. So this is sort of the final piece before it is welded, so we'll cut this out here. So we one flat plate all the way through. The ring will then get welded along here and then along there to that piece of steel. We'll drill a hole here, and there's already a hole there. That bolt will slot into the front runner roof rack in the track. Bolt in there. We'll cut the bolt a bit shorter, and then that will have a lid, like a lash down eye screwed on the top, which will tighten the whole thing down to the rack. I might put a nut on it first, use that to tighten it to the rack, then put a lashing thing on top. Then a strap will go there, over the gas bottle and down to there, and that's what will lash the bottle. So we'll get it welded now. So we've cut the base out of that piece of box section steel. I'm going to grind that lip off there now, all the way along, so it's nice and flush. Get rid of the rust while I'm at it. So we've got the plate cleaned up, all the lips taken off. The ring I showed you before, and now welded that together, inside and out. Not the prettiest, but it will do. So what we're going to do is centre it this way and this way. Mark where we're going to weld along there. Mark there. I'll then clean this off. I'll take it outside and we'll weld it. And we'll drill a hole here. I'm waiting for the lifting eye bolts still to come. So once they're here, we'll carry on, but we'll get it welded and we'll get it painted. And then it's just a case of putting the bolts on ready to install. So what we're going to do is sort of roughly measure the gap. So tape measure, a bit easier. So we're going to roughly measure there. So it's 50 mil. That's 50 mil. And we're going to roughly measure there to there, which is 60 mil. And there to there, which is 63. So we'll go that way slightly. 62 there, 62 there. Then we'll hold it in place, mark where that's going to sit. So when we go to weld it outside, we'll weld it straight back in this place. Put a line there, put 2 lines there, so that will line it back up. So what I'm going to do now is knock the paint off from there to there, just about 5-10 mil up. Same thing there. I'll take it outside and I'll weld that to it. So I'll come back once I've welded it. So there it is, all welded. They're not pretty, but they'll do the job. So next we've got to replicate this hole over here and then paint it. So what I'm going to do is use the calipers here to find a rough centre. Hasn't got to be bang on, but it's symmetrical, would be nice. Lock it in place. We'll go to this side. marker pen. Ideally you'd want to use like an engineering pen, but this will do fine. So we're going to mark like that. Now I can see, I don't know if you can on camera, you can, yeah, there you go, you can see the line. And then we'll get another rough centre this way, about there, and do the same thing, which gives us a little X plus whatever you want to say on there. So we've got centre punch. What we're going to do is line up on the X, give it a punch. That'll leave a nice drill guide, because what I'm having to do, so I haven't got my drill with me at the minute, is use a step bit in an impact driver because it's got the hex end on it. I have got lots of other step bits that are a lot sharper than this one, but they're rounded shaft, so you need a drill to grip them, and my drill isn't here. So yes, I am trying to make this by spending the zero, just using stuff lying around the garage, so it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to work. So what we're going to do is drill. This hole is to an M10, I do believe. 12 actually. So we are going to drill to match. We're only going to be putting M8s in it, but it'll at least give us some adjustment. Good thing about using these tree bits is it automatically chamfers, deburrs the hole after you've drilled it. So if I wipe that off, you can see it chamfered the hole. So I'll follow it over quickly, chamfer the back. Takes that burr away. Now we'll give it a clean with the greaser. Try and get as much grime off it as we can, because I don't have any primer, so I won't be priming it. I will just be painting. Which is alright, it's going to be up on the roof rack, you're not going to really see it anyway. So we'll give it a few layers of paint and some clear coat, just to try and make it look pretty. So what we'll do is we'll hang it up and get it painted. So we've got it hanging from old bungee cords. What I tend to use old stretched out bungees that have got no bungee left in them. And we are going to give it a knock over with Lidl's Finest black paint. I'm going to give it probably 4 or 5 coats. I know it's quite a lot, but because I'm not priming it, I think the more coats the better. So I'm going to hit it with some primer, and then I'm going to clear coat it as well, just to give it that extra protection. So we'll start on the welds and work our way around to the rest. nice actually. I know the welds aren't the best, but it'll do. So we'll let that dry, and then I'll give it a few more coats, and then clear coat it as well. And then once the bolts have arrived, we'll get it bolted onto the car. The bracket's done. It's all painted. Looking very nice. I've got a bag of hardware. Tie down highs have come. So what we're going to do now is go to the roof rack and put it on. So on the roof rack now, I'm going to slot the bolts in. I'm going to mount this at the front at an angle like this, instead of like this or like this, because if I mount it that way, it becomes very unstable. So if I mount it this way at an angle, I can tuck it right in this corner, which I don't use for anything anyway, and it provides me good security. So I've got to drop the bolts in to this track system on the front runner roof rack. Slide both the bolts in. Ready. Drop them on top. Drop the bracket over. And we're going to pull the bracket roughly pretty much all the way to this edge. Out there will do. Put a normal nut on top first. This is going to be the one that actually holds pressure on the bracket. I'll do that up. Then I'm going to put a nylock on. This is going to properly secure it and stop that nut backing off. So, I mean, that bracket's solid anyway, but the last thing I want is my gas bottle coming off. Eye bolts on, and then do them up. That'll jam them against that. Nice and tight. There we go. Gas bottle goes in. Well, that's the idea done. I just need to get a shorter ratchet strap for this. But there is the gas bottle mount, and that's solid. That's shaking the car, so there you are. That's how you make your own.